Hi, everyone.
Hey guys.
So we wanted to do something a little bit different.
So today we're going to do two special episodes so that you, our audience, get to know about Teresa and myself and what we do as the co-founders of the Female Health Entrepreneurs Collective. So let me introduce to you today Teresa, who is a holistic health practitioner and business coach for female health entrepreneurs.
Hi.
So Teresa, tell us a little bit about your journey so far and why you decided to get into the awesome work that you're doing.
Oh, thank you, Kerrie. So I have had a bit of an eventful career, I guess. I've gone from hospitality to banking, and then I had this total, I would say, enlightened moment about probably 8 years ago where I just realized that my life was pretty much I feel like I lost my soul in a job that I loved, but it wasn't quite my passion. And so I really turned my life kind of upside down on its head and quit everything to basically rediscover myself. I knew I loved health and fitness. So I started looking into different courses, and I found this amazing course for holistic health coaching through an institute in America, IIN. And that really has been the start of an amazing journey for myself. Not only have I become a holistic health practitioner from it, but I've also been able to then help other health practitioners and health entrepreneurs with their business. But it's also been amazing for my own personal growth and my own health, because when I started it, I had a really bad postnatal. Health wasn't good, even though I thought it was. So in so many aspects, that one little leap that I took sort of really started changing my health, my business, my career, and my life, I guess.
Yeah, and health is such an important part of everybody's life. And I really think that so many people starting to understand how important health is.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Honestly, especially if your mental health, which mine was not so great at the time, if it's a bit clouded, or like anything with holistic health in general, for me is I'm so passionate about it, because it's not just about what you're eating, it's about your whole life in general. And if one of those elements is not quite right, then you'll find that your quality of life and your happiness and things like that, just it has this massive run-on effect for everything.
That's so true. Yep. So I know that you have a Transform Within program. So tell us a little bit about what that involves.
Yeah. So the Transform Within program was really created for women who are sort of at that peak moment in their life where they know that they need to make some changes. They know that they might not be happy with certain things that are happening right now, whether it's career, relationships, lifestyle, anything like that. The program is really, a connection of both emotions, spiritual, but also really working on that holistic lifestyle as a whole. So I know for me, when I was going through mine, I looked to things in all of those elements to help me create the life that I was after, to help calm my mind, get my health back into the right spot. So this program I've really put together to be able to guide my clients to get back to that, amazing spot that they've always, been hoping. Sometimes we don't even know what that spot is, but it's more about guiding you back to being your amazing, happy, healthy self. And the program's not for the faint-hearted, because we do get very much in depth with, the words that you're saying to yourself, and those unconscious thoughts and the blocks that you're putting up in your own life. And it's really by transforming yourself within, you are really setting yourself up for success in so many other areas of your life, particularly business.
Yeah, definitely.
and all of those other amazing things that you're reaching for. So
yeah, and I think what happens is we get so busy just doing, and I like to look at it like we're living outside of ourselves. We're just rushing from here, doing this quickly, doing that we forget to stop and look at what's actually going on inside. And so I think by doing the stuff that you do, you get to have a look at where those blocks are in your life and what's going on, and really take the time to reflect, because we don't allow ourselves that time, do we?
No.
I know I don't.
No. And I don't even think I knew what reflection was back in the day.
No. Because no one really talks about it or teaches it, do they? Like, we're just so taught to hustle and just to be busy all the time.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, you really need that quiet time to just sit and look, because we just are full of blocks from our belief systems, and our health isn't as good as what we think it is. But you don't know that until you actually stop and you look, and yet you cover all those areas.
Yeah. I honestly, when I was working in the bank, I thought I had shit sorted. I thought, oh my God, I worked my way up to this high corporate position, and I thought I was pretty hot. I was like, oh, I'm doing so great. Yes, an important person. But I was earning a good income. Yes, the job title was amazing. But my life in general was on this little hamster wheel, and it was very much Groundhog Day every day, getting up early in the dark, getting to work, high stress levels all the time, living off sugar. Just my fight and flight mode was always like in flight. I was always just like go.
Yeah, that's what I call like living outside of yourself, like that disconnection from yourself. Just you're doing what you have to do, like you say, like Groundhog Day.
Yeah. So it wasn't until I had my little guy that I realized that, I didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to have a life, and I wanted to have a life with him.
Yeah.
And then I think once you start looking inside yourself a little bit more, because I really didn't know myself back then. I didn't know myself at all. And I can remember, different situations very clearly where I had no idea who I was, or really what I wanted past having children. That was my goal: get married, have children. It's like I didn't. What do I do then?
Well, that's right. It's like, and then what? Like, what about like? You kind of get to that point. Yeah. What about me? Who am I?
Yes.
And what am I here to do? And how can I start to feel better? And
so that's why I wanted this. That's why I'm passionate about the program, because it's helping women really touch back into who they are. Not because we all do the same. We were just talking about this before. All of us are, especially as mums, we give so much to everyone else, and then it's like, okay, well, I've got 10 minutes now. Kerrie and I were just sitting out in the sun, and it was beautiful.
Just stopped for a moment. But I was saying to Teresa, as I was lying out on the grass, I was still in that kind of, that go, like my body just hadn't got to a still point. And that's when I realized how disconnected I am from myself, and I'm just racing from this to this and ticking boxes off. But I'm, just so disconnected and not tapping into how my health's going and my mindset and what words are playing over, and what I'm, because your mindset is what creates your reality.
Exactly. Those words you say. And this is something I'm still learning myself. I'm really great at telling people, but I'm really learning it still myself. But what I found is, because I was always in that mode, even when I started my own business, I didn't learn a lot of the things I know now until the first year or so, because I was still running in that high speed in my business. So I was like, well, now I'm at home, my office is at home, I'm just going to bloody work all the time.
There's no switch off.
No. So having to learn those boundaries and, looking after myself and creating that balance and really getting to know myself all played a key part in having a business and having the things that I wanted to have successfully.
And I think it's normal for us to go off track. And I think, having a program like you've created helps people. It gives them something to keep going back to, because I didn't realise how disconnected I was until we stopped and were sitting out in the sun. And then I could still feel myself in that racing mode. So having a program like yours gives gives people something that they, when they realise that they've got something to go back on and keep practicing and, you know, keep trying to do better and be more conscious about it.
Yeah, it gives you the tools, and that's the big thing that I am a big advocate of is learning the tools. Like there's a special tool that I use, which is the lifestyle wheel, and it basically has all the elements of your life cut into sections. And it's really interesting. I do it to myself every 3 months because you get to score yourself in these elements of your life out of 10. And the things that you know are scoring lower in, they're the things that you need to put the work into.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And it's having those tools, like, you know, that the mindset stuff, the you know, bringing in some kind of stillness or something in your life, having those tools in your toolbox mean that because you're still going to have moments.
Yeah, we're only human,
exactly,
aren't we? Like,
but it's knowing, okay, well, this is the feeling I'm having now. Kerrie and I would just probably felt like a little nap before, but Kerrie brought out the amazing oils.
Still a little bit like,
yeah, but the oils, both of us know now that that's what gives us a bit of a kick up. Yeah. So it's knowing the things that you can use in your life to help guide you back onto that right track, and really just becoming yourself and standing in your own true amazingness that you are.
Yeah, that's so cool. What kind of strategies do you use to help your clients, particularly women in business?
So I've had the benefit over the years of not only being able to work with women sort of on that life coaching, holistic health point of view, but I have been doing business coaching as well. When I first started my business, I didn't go get clients, and I worked a lot on building the framework of my business because I was too scared and I didn't know how to get clients. The benefit that came out of that was I attracted other health coaches who've seen what I was doing in my business by building the stuff. And so I ended up building a coach business, and essentially like doing sort of, I guess, virtual assistant consulting stuff. So for me, I feel very blessed that I get to help my clients do the practical stuff, you know, social media consulting, business consulting, all of that stuff, as well as combining it with, you know, the life and the holistic health coaching.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. So that's
so many good skills.
Yes.
It's such a journey that you go on, though, isn't it, with your business when you're starting it?
It
so
is.
much to learn.
Yeah, there is, and there's no handbook.
No.
Which is, you know, I love what we do because of that reason. Because there's no, I don't know, I just felt like there was no community.
No.
The people that we were looking up to, I know we mentioned this last week when we were chatting to Jody, but when I started health coaching, even now, not many people know what health coaching is. And I remember back then, the only people we really had to look up to were amazing ladies in America, but America has laws that allow health coaches to work with doctors, and they have insurance that covers the health coaches, whereas Australia is not there at all. So I was trying to market myself in a place where nobody knew what I did, and I was having these weird looks like, you did what? Even last night someone asked me what I did, and I told them, they're like, what? But it's just because it's not common here, and so that makes it really hard when you're trying to create a business, earn money, and things like that, when it's not a known thing or people don't quite understand it.
But I think people are definitely becoming more conscious of their health. Like, I'm a vegan, and I've just watched the vegan community and the plant-based, you know, I've just watched it just grow so much, like over the last probably year or two, really. Yes. So people are definitely becoming more conscious of their health and their well-being.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that, you know, if you just persist in what you're doing and keep sharing your message.
Yes.
Yeah,
so there is a revolution. I can feel it. It's coming. Whether we get to see it in its full effect in our lifetime, I'm not sure. But I know that just even the amazing work that you've been doing, your kids are seeing all this amazingness they're going to pass it on to their
Yeah,
kids.
definitely.
It's
a ripple effect, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, definitely. So, as an entrepreneur, what do you find the hardest and also the most fulfilling?
Yes. Well, so I guess we have spoke about this often. Consistency sometimes in your business is, well, there's so many consistencies. So there's consistency about showing up in your business,
Yeah.
which we all definitely try our hardest to do. But when you're mums
Yeah.
and you have a few hats, on, we have other jobs because we are working mums,
Yeah.
and as much as we love our businesses, sometimes it's a roller coaster of today we've got 2 clients, next week we might not have any.
Yeah.
So you still have to pay your bills whether the clients show up or not.
Yeah.
So I think the hardest part sometimes is knowing that I'm so passionate about what I do and I want to spend every freaking day and every minute doing it. But in reality, today, Kerrie and I usually get a couple of hours slot, and then I'm going to leave here and do uni work and then take my son to soccer and then go to my job at night. And then, so the hardest part is really just trying to find the balance of reality, being true to ourselves and still giving ourselves the time to create balance so that we don't burn out, and having consistency.
Yeah.
The fulfilling part is I just love it. I really do. I love it. I love seeing and hearing the outcomes from my clients. I have ladies still message me from a cookbook that I did. I can't even remember when I did that. 6 years ago. It was a long time ago. The very first thing I did, it was under a random name, Cheeky Wholesome Cooking or something.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I still have people contact me to say that they have it and they've tried recipes out of it, or that something in there made them make a change in their lifestyle.
So good, isn't it?
Yeah. And even on the business coaching thing, I seen a lady this morning who I used to coach. She used to work for the police department. She has opened her own whole food cafe, and she's just extended the business. And knowing that I was a part of that journey for her, just makes everything worthwhile. So I'll keep doing those multiple 20 million things just for that one boost.
But it just goes to show you, the content that you're creating back then in that space, it's still being viewed and bought today, you know. So I think there's a really important message in that, just to share from your heart at the moment with what you feel passionate about, because back then you loved that, didn't you? That was your thing. So share what you're passionate about right now and just do it, but you're allowed to transform and grow as well and shift into other areas. And so there's never anything wrong, is there?
No. Do you know what I found amazing about that? And so I did that book, and I think it was a self-published one because, I'm not Pete Evans, and I couldn't I wasn't like a multi-million-dollar cookbook author or anything. So I did it, self-published it. I borrowed the money off my friend, ex-boyfriend, who was very gracious in lending me the money. And it was very full-on. English was never my strong suit, coming from a mum's non-English background. But I had to edit this book and write it out, and the publishers didn't do anything. They just put it to, obviously they did do something, they put it together, but they didn't edit it. That wasn't their job. So it was such an experience. I had all these books. I did a tour around the libraries in the Sunshine Coast, and sold a few, but I had about 30 left. And then when I was doing that support work 2 years ago, a lot of the families were having trouble with working out sort of healthy things to cook for their kids. And so I ended up in a few of the houses. They were like, I was doing some meal prep for them, and they're like, can you give us some recipes? So I was like, I've got these books sitting at home. So I was gifting them to people.
That's nice.
And it's just so funny how these things work. It was I felt like it was created for that purpose. So as much as it's, not something I'd be advertising or selling now, it's anything that you put out, if you put it out with love and passion,
and from your heart, that's right.
It's
there's
worth it.
always a purpose for it, whether you understand it at the time or not.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's always going to be a reason behind it, and you've got to experience that. Yeah. So tell us why you're so passionate about the Female Health Entrepreneurs Collective.
Yeah. Well, when I started, I felt very lonely because nobody in my family or circle of friends, actually I didn't know many people here then because I'd moved from Brisbane and I only knew my partner at the time and his family. So it was very lonely, and I didn't know many people to start with. I didn't know many people who were doing health coaching. As I said, it was like a random thing. Didn't know many people that had their own business.
Yeah.
And so it was very lonely. I watched a lot of YouTube clips to try and work things out. And it wasn't until I started, I think Facebook groups had really only just started kicking off back then. And I started sort of like getting involved in a few of them. And we did a local meetup, which is how I met Kerrie. And then from there, we had set up another little business mastermind and then connected with so many other amazing people online or in person over that time. And I feel like if I hadn't have had that support network like that, I would have given up a long time ago.
Yeah.
So for me, the Female Health Entrepreneurs Collective is a space, a beautiful supportive community that's been created to be that for other, female health entrepreneurs who are searching for like-minded, aligned people to just be there and support, collaborate, connect. And also there is such a power in connection and collaboration. Like people that you meet today, 10 years down the track, they might be your biggest referrer. I know myself, I've met ladies over the years who will still message me today because like I have a client at the moment who did a course of mine like 2 or 3 years ago. And these connections that you're making through these groups or things like that, not only have you got the potential of having a lifetime friend, that you're making these beautiful connections that are potential clients for the future, potential referrers, and really just a support network to help lift you up when you need it. We all need it.
Because it can get lonely, can't it? When if you're surrounded by people that don't have a business, it can be really, really lonely. So it's nice to connect with like-minded people. And then there's that collaboration and support and I always pick Teresa's brains about like techie stuff because that's just not my thing. So it's great, you know what I mean? Like just to have someone that you can bounce things to.
And I think I love to, because I think as well as being that connection stuff, it's also for helping educate us as well, because there is things like the techie stuff that's just really boggles your mind, and if you really let it consume you in those first stages, it can also be the make or break. So that having the collective has been amazing because we've been able to put together a program for our members so that they can learn the things like marketing and putting themselves out there on social media. Kerrie's got that amazing sort of element to bring in the energies and all that spiritual guidance stuff that we absolutely need to keep us centered through all the tech and craziness. So I love that we're able to offer that support as well. So it's
the two different sides, isn't there? Which are both important.
Yes.
That's so cool. So how can our audience connect with you?
Oh yes, well, come and visit us at the collective, because I feel like that's our beautiful safe space. So that's a Female Health Entrepreneurs Collective. Facebook group. But you can also head over to teresafisk.com, which is my website, or even like Instagram or Facebook, because that's usually where I hang out and put my stuff. So feel free to come over.
But you've got all your offerings and what you do and a bit more about you on your website.
Yes.
As well,
yeah, absolutely.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for letting me interview you today.
Thank you.
It was such a good idea.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good way for us to get to know each other, and for you as the amazing audience to get to know us. So stay tuned, because it's Kerrie's turn next. All right.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Love you lots.
Bye.
Bye.